Before I get on out of here, I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly, it involves Caitlin Clark, the Department of Justice, and quite possibly the President of the United States himself.
The commissioner might want to grab a stress ball because once Congress starts asking tough questions and federal investigators get involved with the WNBA, it's clear things have gotten serious. Caitlin Clark, just in her second year, is being thrown around like she's in a wrestling match, and now Washington is paying close attention. Before we dive deeper, here's a quick question. Should the federal government step in? Or is this league beyond repair? So now, with the feds officially watching, it's all because nobody raised a flag when Caitlin kept getting taken down repeatedly, almost like she owed someone money. Meanwhile, the league seems to be just waiting it out, probably holding meetings along the lines of, let's see if this blows over. But one thing's certain, this isn't going away. Look, I get it. No one wants government investigations meddling in sports. No one's cheering for Uncle Sam showing up courtside with a clipboard. But when players are throwing elbows, referees are turning a blind eye, and league officials are silent, what choice do people have? Let's talk about Cathy Engelbert, the WNBA Commissioner. She's the one tasked with leading the league, but right now, it feels like she's leading it into silence. She's been quieter than a library during finals week. Had she spoken up sooner, maybe things wouldn't have escalated. Instead, Caitlin Clark keeps getting hit, on the court, off the ball, even during dead ball moments, and the response? Nothing. No ejections, no suspensions, no fines. Just nothing.
But one thing I will not do is take credit for this. I am looking at the Wall Street Journal. The author of the article is a guy by the name of Sean McLean. Let me read to y'all the opening couple of graphs, because I want you to hear the impact of this. This is serious. This is serious. And I could say it with my team here, having the footage and the receipts to back me up. I could be in that I told you so mode. I really, really could. But I ain't going to do that because I'm in a good mood. I'm going to be chill. But I could be saying I told you so. Because let me read this to you.
The three major hits that sparked this federal controversy. Kennedy Carter's now infamous blindside hit when the ball wasn't even near her. Then there was Diamond DeShields, delivering a tackle more fitting for an NFL linebacker than a basketball court. Marina Mabra's move looked less like solid defense and more like an intentional hit. Then Tina Charles threw a sneaky punch from behind. Suddenly, the game looked less like basketball and more like a street fight. The bigger problem? None of this belongs on the court. This wasn't just physical play. It was planned off-ball shoving, almost like stunt performers going through their moves. But the WNBA? They just stood by, arms crossed, pretending it was business as usual. Considering Caitlin's massive draw for ticket sales and revenue, you'd think the league would care. Instead, they've calculated it's cheaper to let her take the damage. Here's the truth. The league wants the buzz Caitlin creates, but not the responsibility to protect her. She fills arenas, boosts TV ratings, sells jerseys, and drives app engagement. And what does she get? Hard hits and a league that looks the other way. The silence isn't innocent anymore. It's part of the problem. Then Indiana Senator Jim Banks said, "Enough is enough." He sent a formal letter demanding answers, not some PR spin, but a federal inquiry into why these fouls and shoves keep being ignored. He isn't asking for special favors, just the basic protection that other top athletes receive. When the Wall Street Journal reported that Caitlin's civil rights might be at risk, it wasn't just commentary, it was a red flag. When a leading financial news outlet calls something potentially illegal, it's time to listen. And then there's Stephen A. Smith. Like him or not, when he speaks, people pay attention. He suggested a federal investigation could be on the horizon and even said Trump might jump in, using this issue to rally his base. Honestly, he's right. Imagine Trump championing Caitlin Clark's protection. Social media would erupt. Half the country would cheer, the other half would be furious. Either way, the WNBA would make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Maybe that's what it takes because, right now, the league isn't answering to fans, players, or the press. Maybe they'll act once Washington knocks on their door.
She joined the league last year. Ms. Clark's impact has been seismic. Merchandise sales soared 601%. Indiana Fever viewership jumped 170%. The team's value tripled. League Pass subscriptions climbed 366%. App engagement rose 613%. And her endorsements topped $11 million.
Some people might wonder, why does this even matter? Here's the deal. It's not just about Caitlyn. It's about a league aiming to grow, earn respect, and be taken seriously, but not acting like it. You can't have it both ways. You can't spotlight a player, move games to larger venues for her, hike up ticket prices, feature her in every ad, and then act surprised when fans expect her to be protected. People are traveling across the country to watch Caitlyn play. Kids wear her jersey. Families are spending money they can barely afford just to see her in action. And then she gets hit so hard, she might not even make it through the whole game.
Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of Ms. Clark, treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn into a legal liability for the WNBA.
If I spent $400 to watch LeBron play, and he had to leave during the second quarter because someone forcefully pushed him into the scorer's table, I'd definitely be upset. There's also the aspect of sports betting to consider. Millions of dollars are now placed on these games. When referees miss obvious fouls against a star player, it's not just poor officiating, it raises questions. And once money is involved, those questions often lead to investigations. Moving on to team tactics. Multiple players have confirmed that locker room talks have taken place about how to handle Caitlyn on the court. To put it plainly, teams have openly discussed how aggressively they plan to play against her.
Sophie Cunningham told the Wall Street Journal she's Caitlyn Clark's teammate, the Indiana Fever. The star player of the league is not being protected. Rebecca Lobo, analyst, ESPN. What does she say? Every single one of those plays against Caitlyn Clark has been a foul. Dick Vitale, winning 1.29 million All-Star votes, came in for Caitlyn Clark, yet she was ranked 9th among guards on a player ballot. Quote, absolutely pure jealousy that the WNBA players voted Caitlyn Clark the 9th best guard. Someday they will realize what she has done for all of the players in the WNBA. Chartered planes, increase in salaries, sold out crowds, improved TV ratings, etc. And they ain't lying.
This isn't speculation. Sophie Cunningham, now Caitlyn's teammate, openly said that back when she played in Phoenix, the plan was to be tough on Caitlyn. But now that she's on the receiving end, even she admits it's too much. When your own teammate feels you're being targeted, that says everything. Then there's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to touch: race and identity. Caitlyn's white, straight, and extremely marketable in ways some others might not be, and that rubs some people the wrong way. Former players have claimed they were pushed out for being straight. Now Caitlyn faces backlash for being white, straight, and successful. This isn't just toxic culture, it's skating dangerously close to civil rights territory. The Department of Justice might be paying attention. This isn't conspiracy talk. When you mix sports, money, discrimination, and silence from leadership, you're inviting federal scrutiny. And Commissioner Kathy? She's still doing her best impression of someone pretending nothing's wrong. Her one job was to grow the league and protect the stars. Instead, she's let the biggest star get battered while the league becomes a political punching bag. That's what panic looks like. That's what losing control of your own league looks like. If they're not careful, Caitlyn might end up owning the league in court instead of leading in points. The lawsuits are coming, complaints are stacking, and the footage doesn't lie. We have video of every hit, every missed call, every foul ignored. These aren't just bad optics, they're legal evidence now. The league had every chance to stop this. Suspend the offenders, fine the rule breakers, instruct the refs to call the game fairly. Instead, they waited it out. Now Congress is writing letters, the media is pushing back, and fans are turning away. The league wanted attention. They got it, just not the kind they hoped for. And here's the kicker. People act surprised this blew up now. They say, it's just hazing, or that's normal for new stars. Really? Caitlyn's no rookie. She's an MVP candidate, last season's assists leader. She's earned her stripes. Now she's earning bruises instead, let's be real. No other player faces this treatment game after game. You don't see stars like Sabrina getting blindsided during dead balls or Breanna Stewart taking hits with no whistles blown. And if they did, there'd be fines and press releases within 24 hours. But with Caitlyn, it's like they're daring us to notice. The excuses are getting creative. She talks too much trash. Every player does. Trash talk is part of the game. But when did it become an excuse for full-body collisions? She's cocky. Confidence isn't a foul. Penalize that and half the league would be on the bench. She led the state in scoring and got triple-teamed nightly. She's no stranger to physical play. The problem is the league's physicality has become a free-for-all. Some say it's part of the culture. Well, maybe the culture needs a serious overhaul. The league's biggest problem isn't just the hits, it's the silence, the pretending, the gaslighting. The idea that calling out the obvious means you're not respecting the league. Respecting the league means holding it to high standards, protecting players equally, calling fouls what they are, flagrant fouls, not basketball plays gone wrong. And it's not just the refs or front office. Some players enjoy it. Hitting Caitlyn is treated like a team-building exercise. Who can take her out today? They post cryptic tweets and shady likes, acting like she deserves it for her popularity. That's not competition. That's bitterness. It's turning the league into a joke. Instead of focusing on basketball, we're debating whether the next game ends in a stretcher or a statement. Even fans drawn in by Caitlyn are noticing and saying, "We love the sport, but what's with all the body slams?" That's no good for anyone. This league had a once-in-a-generation star who could bring millions of new fans, turn casual viewers into season ticket holders, and get non-WNBA fans talking about the league for the first time. And what did they do? Shrug. Let her become a crash test dummy and tell us to trust the process. Great plan. Now the feds are involved. Now national commentators are reading civil rights laws on TV like they're prepping for the bar exam. All of this could have been avoided with one simple step. Blow the whistle, find the offenders, say this stops here. It's not rocket science, but they didn't. Now they're under fire from fans, media, lawmakers, and probably lawyers. The commissioner's probably sitting in her office watching muted ESPN clips, hoping it all just fades away. Spoiler, it won't. This isn't just Caitlyn Clark's problem anymore. It's a league problem, a leadership problem, a branding problem. How do you expect the public to invest when you can't protect your most valuable asset? Imagine the NBA letting someone body check Steph Curry every night, then saying, he needs to toughen up. The league would burn down. But somehow, the WNBA thinks they can do that with Caitlyn and still grow the game. It doesn't work like that. Now, thanks to silence, cover-ups, and passive-aggressive interviews, this issue has grown legs. Political legs, legal legs, PR disaster legs. We're at the point where people say Caitlyn Clark's civil rights may have been violated. That's not a bad call or a rough game. That's courtroom language. The wildest part? It's not hard to prove. We have video of off-ball hits, lack of discipline, her financial impact on the league, teammates and media confirming targeting, and a history of no action. That's enough for a case. Not a slam dunk, but enough to get it into court. Imagine the discovery phase, subpoenaed emails, texts revealing who knew what, when, and why they didn't act. Texts saying, let it play out, or we can't suspend her. Bad optics. That's when the league's real nightmare begins, and I hate to say it, but they brought this on themselves. They had every chance to stop it, and they chose to let it ride. Well, the ride's over. Caitlyn Clark isn't going anywhere. She's still putting up numbers, selling out arenas, and showing up like a pro while the rest of the league plays backyard brawl. Now the WNBA has two choices. Get real. Protect your players. Hold people accountable. Act like a professional league. Let it spiral until your next meeting is with a judge, not a media team. Your move, Kathy. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's about leadership, fairness, and a league now facing government scrutiny. What do you think? Is Caitlin Clark being treated unfairly, or is this just politics in a jersey? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.